Welcome back to Connect Through Beauty. Today we are talking with Lauren and Terry from Meet Tippy, and I'm so excited about this one. Oh my goodness, they've been longtime friends of mine and just phenomenal, brilliant brains, and have truly impacted the beauty space in so many ways, and I can't wait for this conversation, guys, so listen in.
All kinds of fun stuff. It's exciting because it's been 4 years since, actually this Saturday, I think, is my Tippy anniversary, my 4-year anniversary.
Yay!
Oh, wow. That's so amazing. So cool. Terry, Terry, real quick, like when did this idea even just like come about?
I think
like how many years ago?
I actually heard I overheard Jordan, who just joined our team yesterday in the office. She's asking about the history of Tippy, and I think the Tippy on the back of a piece of paper in a meeting when my ADD kicked in was 2013, 2014.
Amazing.
Amazing. Which seems like forever ago. And obviously a lot happened between then and we officially launched nationwide at the end of 2018, and we were basically beginning of 2019. So,
nice.
So it's not overnight, as everybody tells you. It really is true. It's not overnight. It takes some time, and we were fortunate enough with Lords and Ladies, and Terry Durr, and you guys, that we had a great partner and launch pad to really make the concept become even, I don't even want to say beta, whatever's before alpha, like whatever that was, we made that work, and to kind of see everything come full circle.
That's awesome.
It really is rewarding. It's neat to see it, like I said, go from back of a piece of paper sketch to nationally wide, every state, to approaching paying out over almost $200 million in tips. It's just
incredible.
Great.
It's incredible. And then, so Lauren, you came in pretty close to that 2018 timeframe, right?
Yeah. So, it's interesting because we, as Terry met, beta tested essentially at Lords and Ladies, and it never really dawned on me that like I would ever leave the salon. Like that was just my thing, And so having Tippy at the desk and looking back now at our windfall stands and the credit card swipers and how like clunky, I mean, it works, but it was like clunky, and everybody had to kind of go through a totally different process than what they do now. But yeah, beta testing it at the salons and how it worked for our locations was neat to see, because at that time we didn't really think about like, oh, other people are having the same struggles with how they're paying out tips, right? Like we knew what we needed to figure something out, and we, Terry McKim, obviously being the creative, inventive person he is, came up with that. But yeah, then 2018, it's fast forwarding into, past all the fundraising and getting the platform off the ground to build to scale, and having it be a side-by-side solution versus integrated, which we actually did at the salon. It's neat to see how far we've come now. 2018, we slowly started to build a backlog of customers, and Terry really hit the ground running with Salon Centric to create a relationship there so that we could launch with them nationally in January of 2019. And we went out to Colorado, and all 600 of their sales reps, they have a huge meeting every year. So we kind of kicked things off there to get the excitement around it. And
that's amazing.
Yeah, here we are in all 50 states, even Hawaii. They won't send me there to go help launch any accounts. But
come on now.
That's all right.
We all prefer the center of the Mississippi. I think that was one of the last states that we got. Mississippi and New Mexico.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah.
you should have held off on Hawaii.
I
Made
know.
that the last one.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. So, yeah, so like fast forward, you guys are here and you have this amazing foundation and you keep growing.
Yeah, it's definitely yeah, I can't like stress the feeling of like this full circle
Mm,
of like, okay, how can we started out as like, okay, lords and ladies, as it, Terry, the owner, was obviously struggling with what most salons were, which I was kind of oblivious to, which is, okay, we're paying a lot in processing fees for these tips.
mm-hmm.
And we also have to pay the payroll taxes, and there's no way around that. It's it's the IRS. But how can we alleviate that pain point of the processing fees on the tips? Because it's not an earned income to the salon. You're
Mm-hmm.
passing money around, and I get it. It's the cost of doing business, but it's one of those things. Okay, if we could alleviate one pain point, let's do it. So we built it as like a solution to a problem we had at Lords and Ladies. We had the ATM in, and customers had to pay a couple bucks to get the money out of the ATM, and we tried to do cash out at the end of the night, and that just became a headache. And with cash
Yeah.
in hand, so it was like, okay, we created a solution for Lords and Ladies, but then it was like, okay, well, why can't we do this nationwide? Like, why can't we? We always had this goal of like financially empowering stylists, and now we're lucky enough to say service professionals.
Mm-hmm.
Out of habit we say stylists because that's kind of where we started, but service professionals, why can't we financially empower stylists, estheticians, pet groomers, tattoo artists, housekeeping? We're in hospitality now, and it's kind of full circle now where we're lucky enough that we finally built this. Not only do we get tips up, we've always wanted to pay out tips instantly. Even though next day is not bad to wait until next day, but it was already pay instantly, like what cash used to be. Is you had cash instantly, that reward. And luckily enough, we were able to build that over the last half year. We partner up with a company called Branch, which has been fantastic. We're one of the best partners. They actually just they're a digital wallet company that provides an actual debit card with financial tools. It's not a prepaid card where there's hidden fees and there's no really financial gain for someone who uses it other than just to hold money. They've been amazing. They actually just signed up. They're a partner with Uber now. They were Uber.
Oh, wow.
Uber. So it's kind of cool to be in that world of like the Ubers, I guess you can say, where where now we're doing that for the service industry, and that's really our goal. It's neat. And I always say, it's not to be cheesy, but it's personal to me because I grew up in the industry and my mom used her tips to put food on the table. So it's kind of neat now to be like, okay, hopefully we're serving a bigger part of a bigger picture, to help people realize that a third of their income could be their tips, and how can we help them earn more?
Oh my gosh. I know. Absolutely. And, but I mean, both of you have been in the industry for, a long time, and you yourself, like you said, you grew up around it. I love that you saw a problem in our industry and solved it. I mean, that's just incredible. And we literally, we can wake up every morning and like, I know we keep repeating this on, I think, every single podcast, but you have the opportunity to make as much money as you want to. And with this on top of it, it's like you even go as far as, it's taxable money. So it's shown as income. So when I go to buy a house, I have all of this proof that this is how much money I make, right?
Yeah, I think it's that's the thing. It's like, oh, where were we? Like we were at Tony and Guy in Arizona, and they've been a fantastic customer. CBO is the owner, and they had this young guy that was cutting hair, and you could tell this guy was just great. Like he used to, like, his clients loved him when we were there because we were like shooting some demo videos and stuff, and interviewing the staff. And I'll never forget. I mean, he was young too, and he laughed. He said, he made the joke about, "This is fantastic. I don't need to store cash under my mattress anymore." Joke. And it was funny because he said that because come to find out that his family was in the industry, and that was the mindset of like, you got cash and you put it in a shoebox or an envelope or you put it in your mattress, and that's it made me laugh. It made me realize like we got to change that mindset. If we that's not the mindset we have. And, Ashley, like, education is so important. So a new product comes out, a new tool, like that makes the industry better. It makes your profession better. It makes you better at your job. It makes your clients happier. It makes their hair amazing. Why are we not thinking that way financially? Why are we still thinking put money on the mattress, with your tips? We got to think the same way, we revolutionize everything else. And that's, what we hope we do, with the tips.
Oh, no, that's amazing. Lauren, like chime in here. Like tell me a little bit about things that you've been hearing, like feedback on how this has really impacted. I can definitely attest to it for sure. But I love to hear your stories that you've been out there and you've been hearing stuff.
Yeah, no, well, it's interesting because before COVID, we would travel a little bit more. Like Terry said, we went out to Arizona to launch Savio's team, Tony and Guy. And it was interesting because, they were so forward thinking, and we were pleasantly surprised going out there that, they realized that the shift of, recording tips was really important. And it was interesting because before COVID, there was a lot of resistance from service providers as a whole in doing so. And I remember going out, we went to one of their staff meetings, and I didn't know what to expect. It was probably one of the first on-site launches we did. And, there was an interesting, like a diverse mindset there where, there was a few stylists that, they were veterans, they'd been there for a while, and they're like, the mentality of putting the money under the mattress, and they're like, oh, I already have a house. Oh, I just want vacation money, etc. But then you have these up and coming stylists that were sitting there, and, they're hearing what their veterans are, saying, but they're at a different place in their life. And you have these up and coming stylists, or, service providers in general, that they're eager and they have these goals that they want to work toward, and they're soaking all this in of, wow, okay, I didn't realize. Because unfortunately, I mean, at least when I was in cosmetology school, they didn't touch on financial well-being. Even in math class, I mean, my math teacher went off the books to teach us how at that time to balance a checkbook. Like that just wasn't in the curriculum. But there were a few individuals that I can think of. Gosh, he had the best curly hair. I remember him clear as day. But he said to me, he's like, I really want to move out of my mom's house. I want to get my own house. And this is just so cool because now I have a way to show that I have more income. I'm like, absolutely. So throughout the years, we've heard different, stylists in different places in their life. But it's funny because now, after COVID, everything was shut down, and we were reliant on the fact that we were going to get a paycheck based upon what our income was. Like everybody's at the unemployment line, and the shock on everyone's faces of, oh my gosh, I'm only going to get this much money. So it started to really, sink in, like, oh my goodness, I'm only showing this much income. They only are valuing me at X amount of dollars. So then what happens when I go to retire? What's going into my Social Security? If my salon or my business doesn't offer me a 401k, or if I'm not disciplined enough to put money in the bank myself, what does my future look like? Can I stand on my feet that long? Are my arms going to holding up a blow dryer? Especially for a short person, your arms are going to wear out. So when am I going to be able to retire?
I love that.
That
you said that for a short person.
5'2.5", the half counts. I remember standing behind the chair and thinking,
listen,
gosh,
I get it.
Tiresome. So, people are starting to think, gosh, am I going to be able to retire? So tips are looked at, as income, as,
absolutely,
more so now than ever. And stylists are actually calling our our team and they're upset if they find out that their owner's not helping them to record these tips. They're like, oh my gosh, why wouldn't they do that? So it's a different mindset.
That's amazing. Because prior to, I think a lot of things have changed in COVID for our industry for the better. I mean,
Yeah.
I almost feel like we're in this new wave and our industry is almost like hit the restart button and is like on a whole new level, which is incredible.
Yeah.
So,
No,
and
I agree.
you've brought up mindset, you've brought up a lot of great points. And what made me think of what was before COVID was a lot of like scarcity, a lot of narrow-minded thinking. And yeah, you're right. Like when this whole thing happened and we came out of it and we got back to work, it was like, wow, no, I'm thinking in a completely different way. And I think like as hairstylists, the cash is obviously it's right there and it's something that you're so used to. But when you start to change and shift your mindset, the way that you guys have been presenting this to the industry in a way that, no, this is your tips are of value to you and to your income. And this is really valuable and this is really important. And you should actually look at it that way.
Yeah.
And I think like shifting your brain in that way is huge.
It really is. And it's funny because even as business owners, we see with them too. And it's funny, we've worked with a lot of, leaders in the industry that, talk about financial wellness and for owners to, you should do price increases and things like that to value the work that you do. And it's true now more than ever, we see businesses, not just looking at, tips differently, but just their business differently as a whole too, because they understand, yes, we have to have the technical skills to be able to make someone look and feel good, but how can we make people look and feel good in our community if we're not looking at our business from the overall perspective and the individuals that are working under their business umbrella to have a financial health and wellness? Because if they're not looking at the financial aspect of their business, the longevity of their career is going to fizzle out because you can't sustain it. Think prices do increase of cost of goods, et cetera, et cetera. So it is kind of neat to see that our industry is looking more at the value of what they offer and looking at things from a business perspective and not just thinking with our hearts, which we have to do. I mean, we're in an emotional industry. We're emotional, creative people. So you do have to have that part of it, but you do have to look at things sometimes from a business world and really, like you said, value what you do.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. I love it. So, you guys have been on this journey together, which I love. And I have gotten to work with both of you and just have like so much respect for the two of you and a lot of love for the two of you and what you do. So like tell me a lot of the paths that you guys have been on. Like how did you guys come together in 2018?
That one is, well, we knew when we started the company, we knew we wanted to build our team with in-industry team members, which we thought was important. You weren't going to talk to somebody who didn't understand the industry or couldn't relate with you.
Right.
And we started putting some feelers out there, and I think I just hit a certain point. I actually remember exactly where I was. I remember we were on vacation and I kept getting frustrated. I'm like, I just cannot find the right person. And I remember going to Lauren and saying, Lauren, is there any way you can help me find someone like you? Do you know anyone like you? And I think I just mentioned you as many times. Like subliminal marketing and
you.
and then And yeah, I think Lauren even said like she's like, well, I think maybe I could help out like part time or just like my off hours. And because at the time she was the operations manager at Lords and Ladies, and Terry Durr, the owner, obviously is part of Tippy. And I went to him and I say, listen, you're gonna hate me, but I think Lauren would be a great fit for this company. And I stated my case and I said, I knew the staff at the office staff at Lords and Ladies probably wouldn't be happy with me because they could potentially lose Lauren.
Well, we were a little sad, yeah.
And then thankfully Terry understood where I was coming from, and realized it could be a big opportunity for all of us. So that's kind of, then I kind of went to Lauren, and Lauren was nervous, I think. And then thankfully Lauren joined the team. She said tomorrow. Congratulations, it's 4 years.
That is amazing.
Thank you.
Really, really helped. I mean, at that time we were. I don't think we had one location yet. We were really going to build it up together. And every person that we hired, part of our team, has just been awesome. I mean, our whole team is awesome, from our success team to our sales team, our dev guys, our team in Florida, our creative director, our controller. We have a whole dev team.
It's amazing.
And it really is like a great culture. It's been awesome to like build this team together, and everybody's still in industry. It's like we hire more of our success team, but we want to make sure that when you talk to somebody, they've been in the industry, whether it's beauty, the hospitality industry, or the restaurant industry, they can relate with you. So it's been really cool. And I think it's definitely, if any call we get from anybody, whether it's a salon that's interested or a new tech partner, or whoever it is, or even some of our investors, we get calls and said, hey, I just want to let you know how great your success team is. And it really is like part of our, no pun intended, our success.
Oh my gosh, no, I love it.
He's always trying to give me a big head. No, I remember exactly where I was too.
I have a bunch of favors asked for today, so I'm trying to.
Yeah. I think my phone's broken. The Android's not working.
Lauren, you obviously couldn't be you're the perfect person.
I wouldn't go that far.
You could have picked a better person, and she's amazing.
It's been fun, and it's funny because Terry and I worked together, and we he was the creative and marketing at at the salon, so we worked together on different things then, and now like getting to work together more closely with him is so much fun. And I didn't realize, it's funny, you don't realize how much fun, until you work with, like, even Ashley, you and I, we got to work really closely towards the end of my career at Lords and Ladies. And you grow to really respect people differently when you work that closely and you're working on something that's you're putting building blocks together. It's fun. And I remember I was on vacation, and I was on the phone with Terry and David, and we were talking about what that would look like, me coming on board. And you're right, Terry, we didn't have any locations at that time, and
no,
we didn't even have an office. I worked on the third floor of the salon. It was like the third floor dungeon for
attic,
for a few weeks. And I remember him.
I think the one time you even texted me, you're like, I think there's a bat up here.
Yeah. Definitely.
It definitely is. Like, it's fun to talk about this stuff because it really is. And Ashley, you touched on earlier about like how it's like this reset in the industry. Mm-hmm. And every day I talk to somebody who's like has an idea, or somebody who's, and not just in the industry too, like, a few times I'll talk to like, inspiring entrepreneurs and their ideas, and I want to help them make them success or come to fruition. But in this industry, there's so many things that could change and be done differently, and people have the ideas, and it really needs to they need to do it. You don't never leave your job, never just take that risk. I'm not a big believer in that, but like test it out, test things out, try it out. If you think it's going to make the industry better and you think you're filling a void, it will work. I mean, this literally came from the idea of, okay, this is a very gray area of how tips should be handled or managed or accepted, and how can I make a gray area more black and white? Right. And I think there's so many other possibilities out there for anything. Not just it could be a hair product, it could be a tech product, it could be a tool. It's just what can you do to change the industry? And I know people have the ideas; they should definitely do it.
Yeah, chances are, if you're feeling a pain point, that it's not just you, it's many other people. Chances are that there's other people out there that also need some kind of relief or solution to a problem, and that's where it kind of all starts.
Yeah, absolutely. No, for sure. I mean, I couldn't agree more with that. Um, so I know we've been talking a ton about the amazing success and like where you're at now, and then we'll get into what's new and what's upcoming. But like, it hasn't always been that way, right? So, what when you do struggle, or when you did struggle, when you did go through some tough times, like, what's the advice you can give to people that maybe are thinking about branching out and doing something?
I think the big thing is like you always have to create or build something that you think is going to work, and then most times it's not going to be exactly what's needed. We've had our failures. We've built things that were like, for the product that were like, this is a no-brainer. Why wouldn't you want this? And it's whether the product wasn't the right one that they needed, or the right solution they needed, or maybe it was the struggle of educating why it was needed. Again, the mentality of how tips are accepted, it's probably been the biggest challenge, because we want people to think bigger and outside the box and think forward, not backwards. So that's obviously been a challenge there. But again, Lauren and the team, like they're so great at educating, potential customers and stylists why this is good for them.
Yeah.
We building a product that's scalable, you're always going to run into issues there, because you have to think small, or I shouldn't say, you have to think big initially, and then you have to go back to reality of, okay, let's start small. And I think, me personally, probably the toughest time we had was and I not alone, I think it was the whole nation, but when we had our the lockdown, essentially every company went to zero. I mean, we went to 0 tips in a matter of days nationwide, which is scary to think about.
Yeah.
To think of how everything just shut down, and that was super eye opening, to think of how quick things can be taken from you. Things that you work hard for can literally be just snatched from you, and you can't, and it's out of your control, which is it's a tough pill to swallow. I think David, who's my partner and actually my brother-in-law. I mean, there's days, I think, during that whole thing, we woke up every morning talking to each other off the ledge, and just took turns, of like, hey, don't worry, we're gonna get through it. Then the next day, that person's like, oh my God, we're done. Like, panicking. But it's like, and again, it comes back to, we built such an awesome team that we stuck together, and everybody kind of said, hey, we're in this together. Let's figure it out. And we got through it together and came out actually even more successful as a company. But it's just like, it's one of those things. It's like, you're always going to struggle. It's always going to be, nothing's going to be easy. You have to want to do it. You're going to lose sleep over it. But I think if you surround yourself with the right people around you, it's going to not only be fun, you're going to be successful together.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And every day, I mean, there's big struggles, there's little struggles, and I think every day, we find that there's challenges that come up, and just having an open mind to pivot in those moments, because there's going to be highs and lows in anything we do. So, and I always sing your praises too, Ashley, because like, you're someone who, even on, a rough day in the salon, like, you just need to find that person, like Terry was saying, that, some days you're the light that shines, upon everybody else, to kind of keep the, the train moving down the tracks. And then some days, like, we will be the cloud, right? And we need somebody else to help to, like, kind of uplift us. So having the right people around, and not letting anything get in your way from the overall big picture is huge when you do have those days, because you're going to have them. You're going to have things that come up, and you just have to try to put that smile on and keep plugging through and look for something positive in any situation, because there's always something that, out of a negative um, thing that comes up, you can always look for a positive in that.
Absolutely. Oh, 100%. And I think we all can say, like, COVID was super hard.
Yeah.
But again, like, I think, like Terry, you just said, like, we came out even stronger. I think a lot of people really did, because they shifted their mindset in a different way. And honestly, like, that's huge. When you start opening your eyes and kind of seeing looking through a different lens, I guess you could say, it really expands your mindset a little bit there. So, yeah, I love it. So, Lauren, what's new? What's going on now?
Oh, goodness. All kinds of fun stuff is happening. So this year especially is an exciting year for us, because up until the end of 2021, we have been a standalone tipping system. So no matter what point of sale system a salon uses, you can use Tippy right alongside of it. It's a second swipe. So it's literally plug and play, just plug it in, connect it to Wi-Fi, which has been great. We've seen that work really well. And we still have, businesses that sign up for that solution. However, we want to partner with, like-minded businesses in our industry to really grow and create a solution that makes sense for salons. And so we've really made an initiative this year to partner with points of sale. And that's been our main objective, in addition to partnering with Branch, which Terry shared a bit about earlier, so that we can really have a great opportunity for financial wellness for every service provider. So, Branch, they came earlier on in the year. I think that was early March that we launched that. But now we are integrated with officially 3 points of sale that are live, which gives us so much more room to help a salon, grow and create a better client experience, really, too. I mean, we kind of haven't really talked about the client, and they're the ones that are tipping, right? So, just creating a really cool digital checkout experience for the client. A lot of times we're going into restaurants and coffee shops, and they have some cool screens and terminals, and allowing a customer to leave a tip for individuals. And the salon industry now, unfortunately, hasn't gotten there yet. So we're like, why can't we help create cooler screens for the client? They're walking up to the desk, they're feeling good, they're looking good. Let's keep the personal touch of tipping, but in a digital way, because of course, some people are carrying cash, very minimal now. They're using their cards. So let's keep it a personal experience. So we've now officially launched an integration, which is a single swipe. The customer can choose their tips on a really cool screen. We have really neat user interfaces where they can see their service provider's photo. They have suggested tip amounts. They get to a screen where it has their whole payment summary, so they see their services, their products that they selected, their tips, and it's just a lot more fun. Like, it's a creative place in the salon, right? So like that checkout experience, we're putting some creativity back into that for them. Yeah, so we're excited about that. And we're working on, is it 3 more, Terry, by the end of the year?
Yeah, I think by year end, we'll actually be integrated with approximately 6 point of sales companies, and potentially some property management systems, which are in the hospitality space, like hotels and stuff.
That's amazing. And all of your point of sales, are they all industry related, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think that's where we're focusing. I mean, as I mentioned, we're branching out in other industries. Like I said, pet grooming, winery, tire shop, hotel, We're in a little, we're launching a taco restaurant. Like it's, I
that's
think, yeah, it's, hopefully you get free samples, but
yeah.
yeah, I think
Yeah.
it's one of those things that's like, we want to help out and get in every industry possible, but we can't help but that the beauty industry is obviously our core, where it was built and why it was built. So yeah, all the point of sales are definitely in the beauty space. We just look at ourselves as they're already a great product, but maybe we can add a little bit more to it with the checkout experience. We already have a checkout system, so why not integrate those two and make our kiosk a full integrated checkout screen, and then still pay out these tips instantly, get the tips up, and we stick with their same mission.
Yeah.
So amazing. You guys are awesome. I'm just so
You're awesome.
What he said.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Well, I missed the two of you, so this was super fun.
Yeah, we miss you too. You're always so inspiring. You're always doing something amazing. You always have just big goals, which is awesome. And that's, you got to surround yourself with awesome people so you can keep inspired.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh my gosh. Yeah. And that's what I've been trying to do a lot lately is keep surrounding myself with people that are better than me. And I feel like I always have Terry Durr in my head.
Yeah. Yeah.
Look in the mirror and surround yourself with people that are better than you.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's true. Yeah, 100%. Because as we grow, and I say to Terry all the time, I'm like, I don't have all the answers. None of us do.
No.
It takes an army. So, it's like you do what you want to surround yourself with people that help to collaborate on things so that you have all the ideas on the table and you have all the information to just keep pushing forward.
Yeah. And it's awesome because we all have the same goal in mind, and that's to uplift the service professional. And for me, my goal is to keep just talking about the industry itself and get more people to join, because I feel like for so long people have been so hesitant to join into the industry, but just like you guys have been talking about this entire time, there's so much money to be made here.
Yeah.
And you can be so successful. So that's huge goal of mine.
Yeah, it's true. And it's funny because a lot of stylists here all the time, my mom and my dad, they just wanted me to go to college. But I just wanted to be a hairdresser. So I went to college and that was lame. And now I'm a hairdresser and I love it. And they're so successful. And then their parents are like, oh my gosh, you make this much money? And they're like, yes. So you waste all that money on college, but that's great. I had an experience,
Oh, it's so true. I mean, I feel like all of our stories are the same.
Yeah.
Well, one of us. And I went through it too.
It's true. Not to put down college, but it's just, when you know what you want to do, it's, what you want to do. Beauty industry is fun.
Absolutely. No more hesitating. Oh, well, thanks, guys. I'm so thankful. And we have to continue to do this. We do this again.
Most definitely. I agree. And we're due for a breakfast date soon.
Oh, 100%. We need a breakfast date. Maybe we can do brunch.
Yeah, I would love that so much. Your avocado toast is like none other.
Oh, you love good avocado toast. Now you're making me hungry. And I need a mimosa with you.
Oh, that's without saying. Yeah. Of course.
But we don't do that during work hours, Terry. Don't you worry.
No, I know Lauren. She's probably drinking right now.
Oh yeah. I have a mug that says breakfast wine.
That is amazing. Hey, listen, as long as the work gets done, right?
That's right.
Exactly.
Oh gosh.
All right, guys. Well, have a fantastic day. It's gonna be not so hot, so
I know, I'm excited. Thanks for inviting us, Ash.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll talk to you guys soon.
Thanks, Ashley. Take care and congrats.
Thanks. Yes, congrats. Bye.
Thank you. Bye. Oh my goodness, that was so fun. They are the absolute best. So definitely go and check meettippy.com out because, guys, you do not want to miss this. It has been a staple obviously in our company from day one, and it has really elevated our service providers just tremendously. And just hearing how they started and how, where they are right now has been just truly enjoyable to me to listen to. So definitely check them out and keep staying connected.